thanks for coming to hang out with me. During this hour, we will be discussing Lilith in astrology. Let's get started by talking about the concept of Lilith. I'm going to be looking down sporadically. This is a kind of conversation that you can have playing while you're cleaning your house, because there won't be a lot of dancing or fun stuff for you to look at. It's going to be a lot of information coming at you fast, and I hope that some of it gets absorbed and you can utilize it when you're looking to manifest the life of your dreams, okay? Understanding your astrology natal chart is truly the superpower that you have access to in designing a life that resonates with your spirit, with your energy, with your vibration. Hi, Sue Sang. Thanks for being here. Lilith is a placement in astrology that is often ignored, but that is very powerful because Lilith is the rebellious element of your astrology natal chart. And if you're somebody who does not pay attention to it and you don't monitor it, you will find yourself acting out this energy in ways that are destructive to you. Okay? So I need you to know that whether you recognize Lilith or not, Lilith is still a part of the equation, and Lilith is angry. Lilith is very angry. Hi, Alfie Shipley. Lilith is very angry. Hi, me first wholeness. Lilith is very angry. Lilith is angry at the status quo. Lilith is angry at the way that society is running. Lilith is angry at the way that women get treated in this world. And if you do not acknowledge her voice and find a way to soothe her, she will destroy you. Okay? So let's talk about what Black Moon Lilith is. Black Moon Lilith is a very powerful astrology natal point in your chart. Unlike all the other planets, it's not an actual planet. It is rather a mathematical equation that leads to the conclusion that your Lilith is in this specific zodiac sign, okay? So your Dark Moon Lilith or Black Moon Lilith is what we consider your second moon. So you have your moon sign, which is related to your mother, and then you have your second moon, which is your dark moon Lilith or black moon Lilith, which is given to you by the patriarchy. Okay? So I need you to know that you have a moon sign from your mother, feminine, and a moon sign from your patriarchal system, masculine. We all live in the patriarchal system. Nobody's absolved from it, and it affects all of us. Okay? Some keywords that are associated with Lilith are shadow self, rejection, and suppressed femininity. So Lilith, in her empowered state, is raw. She is primal. Think of her as the woman that resists being controlled, the woman that resists social norms, the woman that resists the roles that society is giving her, the woman that resists, society's ask that she be smaller, that she be silent, that she be demure, There is an expectation. Hi, Tigi. Hi, Love and Light. Thanks for being here. Hi, Panchi. Thanks for being here. Hi, I'm scrolling so I can say hello to everybody. Hi, user. Your name is very long, but I'm going to say hi. Hi, thanks for being here. So, when we're talking about spirituality, hi, Seven Ventures. Thanks for being here. We cannot talk about enlightenment or spirituality or evolution without grounding it in this reality, okay? Without grounding it in the reality of who you are in this reality, okay? If you are a female, a woman in this world, your experience is going to be very different from if you're a man, okay? If you are a Hispanic female in this world, your experience is going to be very different compared to if you are a Japanese female in this world, okay? If you are an able-bodied person in this world, your experience is going to be very different from somebody who is not able-bodied. If you are intellectually challenged in this world, or challenge around communication in this world, let's say you live in the land where you don't speak the language, your experience is going to be very different from somebody that lives in that land and speaks the language. What I'm trying to say is we cannot talk about manifestation and manifesting your dream life if you don't know who you are. You have to start with who you are. Who are you? Where are you from? How did you get here? What did your ancestors do? What was your blueprint? What were you coded for? Who raised you? What did they teach you? What did they want from you? How did they guide you? What is the purpose of your existence that was given to you at birth? And then once you get outside of the home, then you look at the society. Well, how does the society feel about me, about people that look like me? How does the society treat people that look like me? How does the society care for people that look like me? If you're not able to have these conversations with yourself in terms of understanding the role that was expected of you in your home by your mother and your father and your relatives, and the role that was expected of you in society, then you're not ready really to have a bigger conversation about your soul's evolution on earth. Because part of Lilith's assignment is to transcend some of the societal pressures that are put on women unfairly. Lilith in astrology was the first wife of Adam, based on Jewish folklore. Are any of you on this live Jewish? Hi Skyline, thanks for joining. Hi Renee Marie, thanks for joining. Hi Crack Shippy, thanks for joining. Hi Angela Jones, thanks for being here. Hi Moha, thanks for being here. Are any of you in this live Jewish? It's okay if you aren't. Just let me know in the comments if you are. So, as you know, all of the Abrahamic religions tend to copy each other's stories. And by Abrahamic religion, I mean all of the Western faiths. So all of the Western faiths and all the faiths that came out of the Middle East tend to copy one another. So there is a Jewish folklore story about Lilith in astrology, where Lilith was the first wife of Adam. I know that story didn't make it to the Bible, but you do know that the Bible started from Judaism, right? If you are Christian, you should know the story of the Bible. You should know the origin of the Bible. You should know who wrote the King James Bible. You should know all these things. I'm not going to school you on all of it, and I'm not implying that you don't know all of it. I'm just saying that, I'm not going to go into too much details, but I just need you to know the overview. A lot of these stories come from mythical stories. A lot of the biblical stories are mythical stories. A lot of the stories of Christianity, Judaism, Islam are all mythical stories. These are all part of the same triad of religion. So if we're going to talk about religion, you need to understand the root of that religion, and you need to understand that myth and faith are connected. And I'm not trying to go too far off the topic, but what I need you to understand is that we can't talk about religion without talking about arts, okay? We have to be able to talk about art to talk about religion, because religion is art. Religion is myth, okay? And those myths make up stories, and these stories then get incorporated into different faiths, and everybody puts their spin on it based on their own cultural background, okay? I'm not saying right or wrong, I'm saying these are the facts, okay? So Lilith in astrology was the first wife of Adam. Her story was not in the Bible, but her story is in the Jewish folklore, heritage. You can do some research on this and you will find the original Jewish texts about Lilith. Lilith was first given to Adam, but the relationship wasn't going well, which, by the way, is why I believe that everybody's here to master Libra energy, because I believe Libra is a number of God. The number 7 is a deeply spiritual number. Again, I won't go too far into that, but you need to understand that this whole life is about balance. And the way that we get to practice that is in relationships, okay? Because relationships is where we have to manage our ego. Hi, Monica. Hi, Bree. Hi, Love and Light. Hi, Just Another Therapers. Hi, Legacy. Hi, Candy Boots. So relationships is where we have to manage our ego. Outside of relationships, there is no requirement of us to be different people. I can be who I am. I can think what I want. I can do what I want. I can be myself without anybody else raising their hand and saying, I didn't like how you did that. But when you get in relationships, when you get in relationships, suddenly somebody else gets to raise their hand and go, I know you've been doing it this way this whole time, but this is not right. Or this doesn't make me feel good. Or this doesn't make me feel safe. Or this is not kind. Or, this is not the best way. And then when you're in that relationship, depending on, the level of respect and honor you have for your person, when they say that, there's a specific response you're going to have. So Lilith was in a relationship with Adam, and things were not going well. Okay? This is why I believe relationships are the true test of humanity. Because how we treat one another is a big part of our karma. And in astrology, you can even see that because Libra is exalted as Saturn, which is the planet of karma. There is a spiritual message that God is trying to give us about relationships, even with that simple fact. There's a reason why no other zodiac sign is exalted at karma but Libra. Why is that? Well, Libra rules relationship. Nobody else rules relationship. So the way you treat other people and the way other people treat you affects your karma in this life and the next one. And when you think about the story of Lilith, it makes sense because from the very beginning, the story of Adam and Eve, before that, the story of Adam and Lilith was about relationships. So Adam wasn't treating Lilith right. Lilith was not happy in the marriage. Lilith was upset with Adam in the marriage, specifically when it came to their sexual intimacy. Adam was very obsessed with dominating her in every regard, but especially in that area. You know, he was not very open to her feeling like she had power in the relationship. So whenever they would get together to do their thing, Adam wanted it done the way he wanted it done. And the way he wanted it done made Lilith feel small, unimportant, not loved. And when Lilith will express this to Adam, Adam ignored her. Adam didn't think it was a genuine concern. Adam didn't care. Basically, he didn't care to provide her love in their companionship, in their partnership. He thought the only reason why she existed was for him to get his needs met. Adam thought that the point of marriage and relationship was for her to serve him. So when she started having feelings about her not being served back, he was not receptive because he didn't understand why her feelings mattered. Because none of this is about her. As far as he's concerned, all of this is about him. And she's here to play her position, her role. So why is she complaining? Why is she happy? Why is she unhappy? Why does she want power? What does she want dominance? What does she want? He's already given her what she wants. But Lilith wanted to be an equal. She didn't want to be underneath him. She wanted to be next to him. Again, when you think about the Libra scales, the scales have to be even for there to be balance. Sometimes it goes like this when you're measuring things. And then eventually when it's going to tell you how much something weighs, it goes like this, right? Slowly. So this is why Libra is also very cautious in relationship because Libra knows how, depending on how you swing that scale, that karma is going to ricochet towards them. They know this. So a Libra doesn't really play with the scales too much. They know when they're being like this and they know when they're being like that. They're never confused because their desire is to be here at balance, as status quo. So there was imbalance in the relationship. Hi, DC Star. Hi, Anger Toinette. Hi, Jazil Moses. And Adam was not receptive to it, much like today, you know? I'm not sure if you're noticing, but it seems like every week we're getting news about something that men are doing that is harmful or violent to society at large, to little girls, to women, and to other men. And life still goes on. There is this expectation that the protection of women, the comfort of women, the safety of women is not important. It just isn't. It's only relevant when the woman is no longer alive. Then everybody screams for justice. But when the woman is being terrorized or abused or silenced or neglected, everyone assumes that that's just what she deserves. That's just how women are treated, right? And the women are supposed to be okay with that. Well, Lilith wasn't okay with it. She wasn't okay with being silenced. She wasn't okay with being judged. She wasn't okay with being rejected. And more importantly, she wasn't okay with not having power in the dynamic. So she left. She left Adam in the garden by himself. And he cried to God and said, the woman that you gave me, she abandoned me. Hi, Space Straight. Thanks for joining. And now I'm lonely. I'm alone here in the garden with the animals. I have no one to talk to. I want her back. According to Jewish folklore, God then sent an army of people to go find Lilith. She'd gone to the forest. Lilith didn't want to come back. She refused to come back. And they did what still happens now, is when they can't get a woman to do what they want her to do. Anybody wants to guess? What did they do when they're trying to get a woman to do something that she doesn't want to do? What did they do? If you're a woman and a man wants to get you to do something that you don't want to do, who is he going to threaten so he can get you back in line? Who wants to guess? All the women in the world know this story, because it's a story as old as time. So what's the answer? A man wants you to do something, you don't want to do it, so now he's going to go to aggression, because aggression is what men do by default, to have dominance, because in their mind, power and dominance is love. That's why Adam can understand why Lilith was having an issue, because as far as he's concerned, I'm dominating you, I have power over you, I give you all the things, what are you unhappy for? But Lilith wanted to be an equal, not on top of him, next to him. But he thought that was too much, because he wanted her to be underneath him. So in this present day, this is a story of Lilith from Adam and Lilith. We're now in 2025. Now in 2025, if you're female and a man wants you to do something and you don't want to do it, who is he going to try to enact violence and you don't want to do it? Who is he going to try to enact violence upon, going to threaten with violence to get you back in line? Go ahead and guess. I'll give you guys time to guess. Drop your comments in there so I know. Hi AJ, hi AIJ. You can go ahead and get us started. Who is a man gonna threaten with violence if he wants you to do something and you refuse to cooperate? Come on, don't be shy. We all know what kind of world we live in. What is he gonna do? Why are you guys so shy? Now you want to act like you don't know how men operate? Come on. Yes! Thank you, DC Star 2016. That's exactly how it goes. He is going to move to stage 2. I need you to do this. You don't want to do it? Okay. Then there's some violence coming your way. If I cannot reach you to give you that violence directly, I'm going to go to your child. If I cannot go to your child, I'm going to go to your mother. That's usually the first person I'm going to go to. And the rest of your family. This is how the world still runs. Nothing has changed since the beginning of time. Because violence is the answer in a game of dominance, right? For a lot of masculines, that's how it goes. And because God has made women physically smaller than men, most times a man can physically destroy a woman and a child, right? Which is why they go for them, because they are smaller, right? Smaller. They're not going to threaten to harm your father. That's not going to be their first move. It's going to be a child or you, the woman. So they threatened her. You see, when Lilith left, she started seeing other people. She started having children. She basically started a new life away from Adam. And Adam was salty about that, the fact that she rejected him. So he threatened to harm her children if she didn't come back. And Lilith said, well, for every child of mine that you harm, I will take yours. And that's why they started calling Lilith demonic. But it's not that she was demonic. It's that she was finding solutions outside of the system to bring equality to herself, to bring justice to herself. And her justice was, I have the right to be free. Because I cannot live in eternal paradise with somebody who wants to treat me like a slave. That's not freedom. So I will go find my own freedom in the wild. And if you come here and harm my children, then I too will harm your children. So in Jewish folklore, whenever you hear about a child being a stillborn, the story, the mythology of that is that Lilith took that child in the same way that they took her children. So that is the story of Lilith. Lilith is associated with rebelling against oppression. She's associated with having sharp instincts. She's associated with sexuality, being sexually free. She's associated with power dynamics and taboos, because when she went in the wild and started having different relationships, according to the text, she was mating with demons, having a relationship with demons, is what they say. I don't know that she was mating with demons. It's, as a, my personal understanding is that term is often used to describe women that don't follow the script. Even just recently, not that long ago, in our modern society, women that were, not willing to get married, or women that didn't want to have children, or women, basically women that didn't want to follow the protocol, they were often deemed to be like mentally ill or to be a witch. Not that long ago, women were given like negative names whenever they didn't want to follow the program. So if you are female, you subconsciously already know that there is a program that you're expected to follow, and when you do not follow that program, you will be labeled. Okay? So she was labeled as a demon because she left the garden and started having relationships with other entities outside of Adam and started having children that did not belong to Adam. So that is the story of Lilith. Lilith is about understanding your emotional and psychological triggers. Lilith is about understanding your repressed anger. Lilith is about understanding what it is that society will shame you for, and they will shame you for it because they fear it. The thing about you that people are most afraid of is also the thing that will try to make you feel bad about, because they don't want you to be free outside of the program. Because the whole point of the system is to keep you plugged into the program so you can play a specific role in the program. And when you refuse to be a cog in the machine of that program, they will label you different things that are negative in nature in an effort to basically get you to submit. Because this world was not built for women to be equal, but rather for women to be used, for women to be in a position of submission, for women to have less power. So your Lilith placement is showing you how you empower yourself. And if you truly want to manifest the life of your dreams, I need you to know that it will require pissing off some people. It will require going against the grain. It will require making choices that other people don't like. And you cannot accomplish anything in this world if you don't have people who love you and people who can't stand you. In fact, you need both. You need both to cook. Positive and negative. It's like a battery. Have you ever noticed the battery has two prongs on top, positive and negative, and that's how we get energy? Yeah, you can't have just people who love you, and you can't just have people who can't stand you. You need people who love you and people who can't stand you. Your Lilith in astrology tells you why people will love you and why people won't be able to stand you. Either way, you're here to embrace your Lilith, give her a voice, own her power, and use her energy to move yourself and your life forward. Lilith shows you how to trick the system. Lilith shows you how to game the system. Lilith shows you how to break away from conventional ways of doing things and how to do things on your own. How to do things without betraying yourself. Because the current system obviously requires that women be willing to betray themselves in order for them to have power. And Lilith is saying, no, I will betray you so I can have power on my terms. I will betray you so I can have power on my terms. That means that I will willingly choose to do things that I know some of you will not like. Because guess what? I'm here to please me. I'm here to do what works for me. I'm here to do what makes me happy. I'm here to do what makes me feel alive. I'm not here to build your life while I destroy my own. I'm not here to feed into your delusional belief system that somehow because I was born female, I have to lower my standards or lower my quality of life or lower my desires, or my drive to accommodate yours. I'm not going to lie to myself to make you feel comfortable, okay? Lilith shows you how you express your defiance, how you express your desires, how you own your sexuality, how you own your reproductive system, and how you empower yourself as a woman to live the life of your dreams. Now, Lilith is not just in the female's chart, it's in everyone's chart, because everybody is made out of a man and a woman. Some of our energy is masculine, some of our energy is feminine. This is why the dark moon Lilith is the moon that we get from the patriarchy, and our moon sign is the moon that we get from our mother. Again, do you see that duality? Masculine and feminine, negative and positive, they work together. You get it, right? All of life is teaching us about the importance of balance. Masculine, feminine, negative, positive, high, low, balance. People who don't understand balance pretend to be in balance when they're not, and that's how you get in trouble. Let's talk about the psychological implications of Lilith. Lilith creates emotional wounds because you will be punished for that very thing you embody. And that punishment doesn't feel good. To be judged, to be ostracized, to be kicked out. I mentioned to you guys in a recent video that I have a Lilith in my 11th house. It's important for you to know where your Lilith is, because the house where your Lilith is will show you where you would be punished. For me, it's in my social circles. Girls love to get together to hate me. And it's even more fascinating when I actually bring them together. I can't tell you how many times I've introduced girls who didn't know each other because I thought they could benefit from rapport, from friendship, from support. And then they get together and they both start gossiping about me. So one of my superpower is that I can bring people together to try to disempower me. Every social circle that I create, people try to come in and think they can bully me out of my own circle. Even here on this online presence that I have, I can't tell you how many people have recruited their friends and their families to come watch me, to gossip about me, just so they can try to harass me online, and they think I'm gonna stop talking because they're doing that. Wherever you have your Lilith, I need you to know this is where people are going to attack you. That's where people are going to bring this demonic energy, because people don't like to see me get support. People don't like to see me get love. There's something about me getting love that really makes people angry. Demons get really angry when I get love. When people are appreciating my work, when people are celebrating me, when people are giving me compliments, when people want to hang out with me, it really makes demonic forces mad. And then they will use people to come to my life to try to basically destroy me from the inside. And what's fascinating about it is that oftentimes these same people will want to get close to me. It's not like they're away and they're just oh my God, I can't stand her. It's not that. They want to get close. They want to act like we're best friends. They want to go from 0 to 100 with the friendship. They want to act like we're tight. Like they have my back. Like they basically need me to drink the Kool-Aid and believe that they really care about me even though they don't. But they need me to believe it. So they usually come in fast and furious, just wanting to make things move. But they're really there just to take from me because they don't like to see me get love. And they think they can come in and take the love that I have and I won't have anymore. And they don't understand my love comes from God and there's no amount they can take that will not get replenished. Whatever they've taken always gets replenished. And what's interesting about these girls is that oftentimes the only thing they have in common is hating me. Meanwhile, I haven't done anything to them. All I've done is try to help them because I'm obviously not a crappy human being. But me helping them makes them feel like they're less than me somehow, even though I'm being kind. And then because they have insecurities about their own confidence, because they're the type of women that are insecure, which is generally the type of women that I attract, because they see me standing in my power, and they're read it as arrogance because they have their own insecurities with their own authority in their life. The difference between me and them is I don't ask for permission. I do what I want. And they sit around and they wait for other people to give them permission. And instead of fixing that about themselves, they think they can try to make me feel like small about myself. Like they think they can hurt my self-esteem. That's basically it. They think they can infiltrate my system, turn everybody against me in my system, have me stand by myself, and I'm not going to love myself anymore. Because I think the only reason I love myself is because of who I have and what I have. They don't understand I love myself because I'm a child of God. Like literally all the clothes that I buy are secondhand. It's not the money. I buy clothes that other people have worn before I wear them, and I love myself in them. There's nothing you can take away from me that will make me not love myself. And the problem is, you don't love yourself, and you need to heal that. But you don't want to heal that. You think you can come over here and steal my love for myself, and suddenly you're going to feel better about yourself, and I'm going to feel bad about myself. They think we can trade. They think they're going to come in and I'm going to take all their self-hatred and they're going to take all my self-love and we're going to be even. And no, that's not how that works at all. So you need to know where in your astrology natal chart you have your Lilith, because if you're not aware of that, you won't notice when people are attacking you, when demonic forces are trying to take you down, and when people are playing in your face, and when people are trying to hurt your self-esteem, and when people are trying to enslave you. You need to know. Because my Lilith is in the 11th house, I actually don't get my power from being in groups, which is what's so interesting, because these girls are so insecure that they think a lot of my power comes from like being in a group. They think it's the people around me that pump me up. They think it's my platform that makes me feel this way, you know, which is why they think if they can like sabotage my platform and nobody hears me speak, then, you know, it will all be wasted. And they don't understand that it's me who makes the platform. It's me. People come because of me. It's all in me. It's my energy. It's not about the algorithm. It's my story. It's who I am. It's my heart. They don't get it. And because I've done a lot of healing of myself, I know that groups is where a lot of my pain comes from. And this is why a lot of my power comes from being by myself. Because I know groups is where a lot of my pain comes from. If I didn't know my astrology natal chart, if I hadn't done any of my healing, I would be delusional into thinking, oh, this social media thing, that's what pumps me up, da-da-da-da-da-da. It's like, yes, I enjoy it, but it's not everything. And I think because these girls are insecure, they're thinking, oh, if I look like you, if I talk like you, if I dress like you, if I had your platform, I would do this, I would do that, I would do that, I would do... Because they're in their ego. To them, like, being seen is everything. They want to be an influencer. They want people to know them. They don't understand. I actually don't. I actually don't. I actually would rather be alone by myself. I actually have a heck of a lot more fun by myself than I do when I'm out here. But I felt called to do this. That's why I do it. When spirit calls, I answer. The day spirit calls me to stop doing this, I'll stop doing it. Because I'm not doing it for my ego. It doesn't make It doesn't make me love myself more. You know, I do it because I feel I have a calling on my life to share information. And my Lilith is in Sagittarius. So a lot of times I attract people who see me as abundant. Everything about me feels abundant to them. Like I look like my life is perfect. I have no problems. And that's oftentimes why people also struggle to give me compliments, because they think my head is going to get too big if they give me a compliment. So they withhold compliment from me. They withhold love from me. They withhold attention from me. They watch me from secret accounts. And they think if they do all those things, other people are not going to love me. And they don't understand it's not on me. It's in me. It's literally God's destiny in my life. I'm here to share information. And the truth that I speak, people don't want to hear it because it cuts to the core. Because they know I'm not a BS person. They know I don't fake the funk. That's why you guys follow me, right? Because you know how my mouth is. It's sharp. It's clear. I don't play games. I'm not immature. I'm not here to be seen. I don't have a desire to be lusted after. I'm not here because I need attention. I'm here because I have a message to share. And that's what I'm doing. And when you have your Lilith in Sagittarius, which is the planet of education, information, higher knowledge, people who don't like the truth that you have to speak are going to be upset that you're speaking the truth because they don't want to hear what you have to say. It's not that you're lying. It's they don't want to hear what you have to say because it cuts too deep. So now they're going to make up stories about the fact that you're lying. Because if they do that, then they don't have to deal with the fact that you actually saw them. You saw the fake mask that we're wearing. And they can't pull it off anymore because now you see them. And they have to live with that. They don't want to live with that. Royalty said, it's beyond TikTok Live. Collective consciousness is rising. We're on the right side of history. Awesome. I believe so too. Heavy on the fake accounts. Some people aren't ready, but they love the connection to our word. Yes. I know so many people in real life that are watching me through fake accounts. They don't know that I know, but I know. I have my moon is in my 12th house. I always know. I always know. They think I don't know, but I know. You want to hear how wild Lilith is for me? Like, I have so many friendship betrayals. So many. Like, it makes me laugh now, but it used to really hurt my feelings. But now it makes me laugh because it happened so much. Because that's my calling. That's my calling. I can't avoid it. The thing is, I know so many secrets about people. So many. And so many of them have done me wrong. And there's so many things I could say about so many people that I don't say who have done me so dirty. So dirty. Because as a Sagittarius, when you betray me, I leave. I'm not going to stay and do like mess with you. I'm not going to stay and do drama with you. I'm not going to stay and back and forth. Like I just leave because I know this is beneath me. Once I decide that your energy is beneath me and I've lost respect because you don't respect yourself enough to be honest with yourself about who you are, which means you can't respect me and the connection that I have with you. Once I realize that your energy is not respectful, like not honorable, like it's stinky, and I don't want anything to do with it, I leave. I don't even share your story because I don't care. Because you don't deserve any honor. And keeping your name in my mouth would be me giving you honor. So I don't. I don't. I don't. You know? So, as a Sagittarius, I like good vibes, and that's why good things follow me wherever I go. But it's because I speak the truth. That's why. And that truth that I speak brings me a lot of people who love me because they know I'm not a liar. But it also brings me a lot of fake people who are angry that I'm exposing them, even though they're exposing themselves with their own bad behavior, which is crazy. It's like you're a manipulator. You should know this about yourself. Why would you be surprised that I know this? You should know that's who you are. I'll share one friendship betrayal story with you guys just to break the ice, and then we'll get back to Lilith. So when I was 16 years old and I was just coming out of the closet, I fell in love with this girl and I was crazy about her, like crazy. You know, I'm 16, I'm young, you know, it's like you're feeling feelings for the first time. You remember being a teenager, being infatuated. I mean, crazy, crazy. I was writing love letters, like I was crazy about this girl, right? I thought this was it. You know, I'm a Capricorn Venus, so it's like when I love you, it's like deep. So I was already like imagining us like getting married, living in different, in like more progressive areas, things like that. This is way back in the day. I'm in my 40s. This is years ago. And then eventually, like down the line, I realized, oh, this girl like didn't really like me like that. Like, yes, she wants to be intimate, but she doesn't actually want to own the fact that she's either bisexual or gay. So in broad daylight, she wants to pretend like we're nothing more than friends, which is something a lot of gay people have to go through. People are very attracted to our freedom, our sexual freedom, or our openness, and they want to come and have the experience as if we're a scientific experiment and we're not humans with real feelings. But then like the validation of that experience, they want to deny us. They want to pretend like our feelings don't matter. We don't matter. We're just here to serve them, to give them this experience they've never had. And then they want to pretend like it never happened. Royalty said, I love that this platform is used for yourself and others, and I think that's what matters. I love that too. Hi, Breezy. Thanks for joining. So when I realized that this person was a fake, and what I mean by a fake, like was not ready to tell the truth about who they are, right? Was not ready to own their truth, was not ready to be themselves. I basically ended the sexual component of our connection, and our connection then became like we morphed that into a friendship. And I thought that was going to sustain itself. You know, you're 16, you don't have much insight. So it was all good until one day. At that point, I had decided, okay, I'm bi. I thought I liked both. I ended up with a boy that I liked. She ended up with a boy that she liked. So at this point, I'm thinking we're friends. But then one day we're hanging out and like she started like coming on to me, like being very like inappropriate physically in terms of boundaries. And I was just like, whoa, caught me totally off guard because I'm a lot of things, but a cheater is not one of them. I don't believe in cheating, playing with people's hearts, manipulating people's hearts, playing games with people's feelings. Like I'm not into, again, I have a Capricorn moon. I'm very business with my feelings. I like you, I don't like you, I don't like you, and I don't pretend. So that's not my type of activities. So when that happened, I was like very startled, and I told the guy I was with what happened. And I told her that I told him because I didn't want to live this lie. And she basically started saying, it never happened. You're insane. None of this ever happened. You're making it up. You're obsessed with me. You need to get over me. You know, I never liked you this way. I felt sorry for you. That's why I entertained you. You're not that important. You're mentally ill. You're making stuff up. Like, basically went on, and I was startled by all of these accusations because at this point, like, this had been going on for like a decade of a connection. This is not like a new connection. This is a long connection. And I was just like, all of that, it was crazy. It was crazy. All of it was like so crazy to me. What? So what type of feelings did you have for me then? Because I'm confused. What do you mean? What do you mean? What did I miss? What's going on? I never liked you this way. Oh, really? That's not what I remember. So that went on. I was like, oh, wow. So me being a Sagittarius stellium and Sagittarius Lilith, I was like, you're a liar. You're a liar. Okay. I can't be friends with liars. I don't do liars. Like, it would be one thing if you said, like, you know, that was a mistake, or, you know, I don't feel that way anymore, or whatever. Like, but saying it never happened, like, you're literally going to go for the gaslighting option, the denial option. I was like, okay, you're a liar. I can't be friends with liars. So that was it. So we're done, right? I'm like, okay, forget about it. Friendship over, done, right? So this happens when I'm 22. I'm now 43. So I'm 22. This happened. Years later, I don't remember how many years ago, this same woman, who is now married with kids, hits me up on my Facebook. And that's why I don't do social media anymore, because people are very inappropriate online. And I have no desire for any inappropriate relationship in my actual life, okay? So she hits me up on Facebook like, hey, I don't know if you remember me. Like, why would I not remember you, number one? And number two, why are you talking to me? Like, no, we have no business together.
You can book your astrology reading at intuitivehealing.com. You can also watch videos at Intuitive Healing here on YouTube for Astrology 101 content. Listen to the Aquarius podcast on Spotify, as well as here on YouTube for your horoscope. If you're interested in astrology and love connections, you can visit at Styled Under Libra. And of course, for health and wellness and holistic healing, visit at Styled Under Virgo for all of your astrology content. Thanks so much for watching.